Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire, the Reactor Raids, which would be episode 106. Last episode, we managed to finish off the research for this beautiful ship reactor, and we fired it up about a day and some change ago. It rounds down and reads 13 days. But we can see our launch report. It's missing a whole lot of parts, but all we really care about is firing up the reactor. I'll build the rest of the ship when we are ready. One thing I wanted to do, however, is maybe protect this a little bit so that it can't be easily squished. But that's a pretty low priority because the reactor does have a lot of hit points, 500, which is sort of even more than like a plasteel door. So it's not like it's going to get destroyed very easily. But since we did have a whole lot of scythers drop right on top of us, it's quite possible that we're going to want some additional protection. So we are July or August 3rd, heading into the very warm summer months. Last we left off, we were loading up transport pods to gain additional alliances with our allies to secure a better relationship so that I might try to call them in for military aid, even full knowing, unfortunately, that if I do call them into military aid, they will get heat stroked and die pretty quickly. It's really not like any of the other human colonies on this planet have any sort of possibility to survive the horrid temperatures that is Frost and Fire. We also are going to be hauling this steel as soon as we're done with the transport potting. And what else? Yeah, I am just waiting for the next raid. I'm really hoping that the raid is not a pod drop raid on top of my head or a sapper raid by Reapers, because that is what I've been getting. And I am tired of it, like you would not believe. So I have my animals here on restricted hauling in hopes that they will move the scythers to the machining table disassembly bench area. So with any luck, they'll get that done. We have everybody in about the toughest armor they have been so far this series, ready for the next shoe to drop. Oh, and we now have trees growing in my windmill zones. I do have to be mindful of my power grid. I don't want my power grid to get fully destroyed. We have a pretty robust power grid where it's not likely that we will run out of power. But it would be pretty terrible if I didn't repair things when I could. Raptor is researching a long-range mineral scanner. And here we go. We have a pod full of stuff. So we can gift it to machinists for 50. And our current machinist alliance is 42. So that is a very good benefit. Let's do that. That is plenty. I'll be sending other ones too. So I can't pod anything to the United Cities. They simply live too far away, but it is possible to pod something to the rebel farmers. So with that in mind, let's find some extra stuff we don't necessarily need to send to the rebel farmers. So a tech print of compacted weaponry. I certainly don't care about these psychic sensitizers. I am not likely to ever use. And that might be about it. I have a lot of toques and cowboy hats, and oh well, these flak vests are shredded. Barely anything left on them. Let's see, I have, let me cancel that. So I have 8 people. So I think what I'm going to plan to do, because I don't think we're actually going to take off this summer. I think that this summer obviously is the reactor raid summer, but it will take some additional time to research and then build the rest of the ship. It's just the reactor raids is when everybody comes to attack us. So it's going to be hardest to defend during the reactor raids, but we're definitely going to have to continue playing deep into next winter of building, resource gathering, and constructing the ship, researching, that kind of stuff. So with that in mind, it is going to be important for us to keep enough, like 3, 5, so enough cold weather and hot weather clothing, but not all of it. So all these toques are fine to go. All of the cowboy hats are fine to go. I think the dusters and parkas, I don't really have a lot of spare, because I am selling, or I did gift off the wools and leathers as well. So this might be everything I want to gift them. Yes. Okay. Accept. Now, I did bring down the amount of hydro benches that I have running from 2... Here, let me turn off this grow light as well. From 2 to 1. The reason being, my Phoenix and Gabe are going to be so busy with the reactor raid stuff that I don't want them to spend time on anything else. We have enough crops from one farm to feed everybody, so that's why I turned off a farm, to save the manual labor of managing that farm. We should see my wealth drop a tiny bit. Now, the items that I'm giving away are not worth that much, so it actually might not even be possible to see the difference of wealth here. Because a lot of my wealth at this point is locked up in buildings, like my defenses, and just the throne room and the bedrooms and all the other artifacts that I have. That represents a fair portion of the wealth that I have here. So once we're done with this little reactor protector, which will be a temporary wall that we have for the duration of the reactor raids. I don't plan on building any other parts of the ship during the reactor raids, but once we have the little reactor protector, I hope that my constructors will run around and repair everything that needs repairing, because we are going to be heading into some unpleasant combat. So Phoenix, Bash, and JD, I am raising their construction priorities so that they do that over pretty much every other task. Because I don't necessarily need JD making a whole bunch of corsets right now. That's sort of a lower priority. And it should be any moment now I get hit by a swarm of some sort of attackers. I can't imagine that the game gives me this long of a breather during the reactor raids unless something bugs out. That's just not how my luck is. Not normally. Okay, so the reactor protection walls are done. Now we should see Bash and JD and Phoenix start to repair whatever that is needing repair. Rebuilding the EMP traps, repairing my power grid. Another thing that I just noticed is that I have a very low amount of components and advanced components at this point. What are you making? Phoenix armor? Oh, don't do that. I'm gonna cancel it, even though it's a bit of a waste, because you don't get fully refunded. He's making Phoenix armor because we're all wearing our Phoenix armor, and I accidentally set up a Phoenix armor request of 8. And obviously, as we're wearing it, it doesn't count. What you can do is you can actually say count towards worn, like this. Do until you have, and then count equipped. So I can count equipped, and it changes the number from like 2 to 4, because you know we have 2 helmets on. But I hadn't set up my Phoenix armor construction like that to count equip, so as a result, it wasted a whole lot. Oh well. Well, I have... Oh, some of these dusters are cloth. I don't know why I'd be holding on to cloth dusters. This might not be the only gift that I send my allies. I'm trying to just downsize, as one might imagine, and also gain military aid. Oh, here we go. No, this is a dynamo. Interesting. A Yeoman of United Cities is traveling near landfall. He is being followed by skeletons. Wants my help. There's an EMA dynamo. Yeah, I get that they're offering me amazing rewards, but an EMI dynamo would totally kill me. I can't even consider turning off the power at this point. Whoa, that is a lot of rep here. Okay, well, Rebel Farmers, you are about to get a big gift beyond the maximum. So if you take a look, I have 20 dusters, 2 of them are cloth, so I have 18 dusters. That's, you know, 10 more dusters than I need. And then for parkas, I have 15. None of them are cloth because, you know, I wouldn't have made cloth parkas. So that's, you know, 7 more than I need. So I don't mind having spare, but I have a lot more spare than I need, likely. So that's something to keep an eye on. I really honestly don't know why I have not been attacked. This reactor raid is strange. What might be happening here, this is purely speculation, but what might be happening here is all of the triple raid that I suffered, and then the raid shortly thereafter, could be weighing in the calculations for the reactor raids. The way the storyteller works is they will sort of measure how many attacks that they've sent you in a given period of time to figure out if you are due for more attacks. And because I started my reactor very shortly after the triple raid. No, I don't even know. That's not even a really good indicator of why I wouldn't be attacked. So I'm not sure why Randy has been so peaceful during this reactor time. Maybe it's a stealth reactor. Either way, I'll take it. I don't think that having a calmer reactor raid cheapens my survival here, as survival oh, okay, here we go. Group of skeletons. Transport potting and preparing a while. So it looks like there is 13 east, 5 south, and 8 north. They don't look like a huge group, but one thing I'm going to need to do is... Gabe, you're going to do it. I need to open up my my trickle feeder trap, because at this moment there is no way for a raid to even attack me normally, which means that they would just bash my walls in some sort of unplanned fashion. And I am going to lay out some IEDs here. Oh, okay. All right, Randy. Okay. You know how I said I was going to have a peaceful reactor raid? Yeah, nah. I'm an idiot for thinking that. Okay, so we have, I don't even know how many mechs. We have a ton of mechs landing everywhere. Luckily, they're going to be landing sort of, you know, a lot of them will be landing in and potentially attacking the Reapers instead of me. But I am rallying my forces to defend against that. So we have one here near my reactor. Very happy that I shelled up the reactor. We have one in my backyard, which is pretty typical. I'm actually going to spin up these turrets to shoot at it. Let's see where the other ones are. I'm going to just keep it paused. So we have one landing next to this group here. These pod raiders. We have two here. We have one awkwardly inside the sort of bubble. So this one's going to be a little annoying because... Bash, you go that way. All of these turrets can shred that one if the door gets opened. If the door doesn't get opened, it's going to cause some damage. Let's see. Yeah, those are all the ones that I have to be worried about because all the other ones are way up top. Okay. Well, let's get rallied for this, whatever this is. Hopefully it's not a centipede, but if it is, I'll be ready-ish. All right, Raptor, go there. Everybody else, come here. It's a centipede. Okay, well that's nasty. And this is a centipede too. Okay. Yeah, are they all centipedes? Yes, yes. Yeah, okay. All right. No, this one's a lancer. Most of them are centipedes, at least so far. Lancer, Scyther. So the ones that landed near the Reapers are weak robots, and the ones that landed near me are strong robots. Got it, got it. Totally, and then one pikeman up there. Totally makes sense. Yep. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm closing the distance, and I'm gonna turn off this turret so it doesn't shoot me in the back. Because you don't, a lot of our guns are, I don't want to shoot Phoenix or Raptor for their shields. All right, Bash boy, good job luring that Mechanoid in. Hopefully it takes the bait. And then I have a Lancer or something. What? Okay, it was a Scyther. Crud. A Scyther landed in this section. And I didn't get my turrets on quick enough, so it's destroying some turrets. This centipede's almost dead, though. It's gone. Cool. Let's get in position for the Scyther. We didn't even take any damage here, which is great. Turning off all the turrets back there. This centipede is going to mosey towards us, and guess what? It was a trap. All right, this little turret, turn off. Bash. I'm gonna have you just hide for a minute. Gabe now has these doors open. I'm gonna have Gabe lay out these IEDs. I'm gonna try to, okay, there we go. Yep, it worked. Everybody stop where you are. Nice, done. Let's see. Phoenix, you stop a moment and repair that turret. Everybody else goes south. Looking at these groups here. Ooh, this is a big group. A big group of dangerous Reapers. This group will probably get whittled down a little bit by those mechs. I'm really hoping that they do a lot. And then this centipede, we are moving towards... Oh yeah, they're bigger than their assault now. Oh, it's because some of them died. Ooh, 14 meds. I like. All right, now I'm gonna send Bash and Raptor to go brawl. Risking, okay, perfect, that worked. And closing the door. Turning off all of these turrets. Everybody else is... Okay, none of these turrets are in such bad shape that I need to immediately repair them. So everybody else goes to the kill box here. So that we can manage the rest of the enemies. So schedule. I am going to have everybody stay fortified in case they get undrafted. And my animals are going to be inside. I'm not going to have them wandering around. So here are some brawlers coming for me, and I'd like very much to stop them from... The less steel I can use to defend myself, the better. So I'm going to have my brawlers, or my shooters go south to deal with these brawlers. Phoenix needs food. Yeah, actually a lot of our people need to eat. Let me deal with this group quick and then let them eat. Please, Mechanoids, go towards... I actually might force the mechs to move towards the Reapers by closing my doors and not having any other valid target, so they fight one another. Killing the Tin Man. All right, so let's get that door closed, and Gabe will put the rest of the IDs down. All right, Phoenix, you are in serious pain. I think temporarily I'm just going to have Phoenix recreate to address his mood because he is low mood. Everybody else here is going to stay inside except for Gabe because I'm going to take a very short break fighting to have everyone eat and gain morale and all that. So it sounds like my plan of shutting my doors to force the centipedes to look for other valid targets has worked. These centipedes are starting to peel off because there are no valid targets left on the map for them, and they're going to head towards the Reapers, who are valid targets, rather than head for my base, which I didn't want. There is one site they're being annoying, but like, it's not of a lot of concern to me right now. I can always repair that door. And it's leaving. Okay. Leth, Storeback JD. Everybody that's entering the base, I'm going to let them off the hook and let them do their thing. Bash, you have to move those potatoes, though. I can't force the door open. So I've laid out these IDs so that they won't explode upon one another. Sure, you can soup a fine meal there. And now I have my enemies fighting my enemies, which is perfect. Leth is waiting for treatment, so I'm going to have Raptor do that. So Sadnil here is a sapper or a grenadier that isn't set to sap. So he could be a little dangerous if he attacks my base when the doors are closed, because he'll just start hucking grenades at random, which would be bad. But everyone that came south is dead, and then we just have the two north groups. This one basically being left alone, and this one getting pushed by mechanoids. The advantage here is that this group is going to probably path into the mechanoids. So I really lucked out here with the double raid back-to-back. Oh, and you can actually see the dip in wealth. 566, 57, 58. So yeah, there's a measurable, but probably in the larger scheme of things, relatively insignificant dip in wealth there. Okay, so here the Northern Reapers are beginning their assault. And the, well, both groups. Yeah, huck those nades on your allies. That's a good strategy. Keep doing it, please. Some of these Reapers are equipped with stun weapons, EMP weapons. So Kenshi and Dictor have stun weapons, as does Rock, which is going to be a little trickier for us to deal with them, because they will also shut down turrets and the like. All right, Mrs. Leth, rather. I want you to pop the front door open now, because someone's going to win this. Probably the Reapers. And they're going to be looking for a valid path, so I need to offer them one. And let me fix Phoenix's schedule so that he doesn't have to recreate until he passes out. So now this front door is opened. And this will be the group that I have to fight. What I am going to do is try to get like sort of a head start. Looks like a lot of them are injured or damaged or whatever you want to call. This sort of like grenade dance is really funny. Ooh, team kill. Okay, yep, they're all dead. Most of the ones in front are brawlers. I think I'm going to regroup here. So I'm going to have Leth come south. Because ideally what I want to do is I want to shoot the brawlers as much as I can so that my automated defenses don't get shredded. But people aren't in position quick enough. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. That was not a good chaos skip. Let's try that again. All right, let's actually get out of here, because we're gonna get overrun and these guys are more. There's too many of them. Raptor, go for Jurgen. Or Jurgen. And our front door is open, so these Reapers have a valid path to me. All of the shooters, let's see if we can't land some cheeky shots. I would say it's working pretty well. Oh, Grenadier's coming. Let me focus on him. And they are actually blocked up in my trickle feeder. All right, so Phoenix got stabbed by the Foreign Saber. It took half of his torso down. So I'm gonna get out of here. Actually, you know what I could do? I can use the med beds. And unrestrict for a second. So Raptor, go over to the med beds. I don't have meds on me, but oh wow, okay, there's two shooters very slowly ingressing. And I'm gonna try to kill the rest of these guys without the use of turrets or a minimal use of turrets, so that I can save steel. Come here, I'm here. Yep. Move. All right, Phoenix, you're gonna lay there for a minute because I don't want your torso to get shredded. Sorry, Mr. Rock. Bash, I'm gonna have you kill Eva and Yosuke. This trickle feeder working absolutely perfectly. I'm gonna see if I can't. Well, launching incendiary on Reapers. Well, you have a shield belt on. Never mind. I think we're done. Well, not okay. Yeah, now we're done. Checking the numbers tab for enemies. It is empty. Cool. 2 raids down. No turrets used. 1 ID used. So that was just nearly best case scenario. Getting both sets of attackers to completely annihilate one another, and then for me to clean up the rest, trickling in one at a time into my base. Like, yes, please. Could not have asked for an easier raid. And only a few of the mechs landed. To be completely fair, I did have 2 centipedes land inside my walls. But I had a kill team very quickly scrambled to deal with that. So we mitigated that disaster very fast. So there's 2 more enemy raids under my belt. And then the first one, the reactor was turned on around here-ish. So 3 raids since Reactor has been on. You know, taking a look at it, it's not actually more raids now. I think this is probably an outlier. These like triple raids and then 1 shortly thereafter is an outlier. But if you look at the last 100 days, it's pretty decent regularity of raids. Only because Frost and Fire is on, you know, super high difficulty and it is brutally difficult. So as a result, the Reactor raids are not significantly different than the rest of the playthrough. With that said, I've only gone 3 days of the ship reactor and had to fight 3 raids, so a raid a day keeps progress at bay. One thing I don't have is I don't have medicine here, so that might be a good idea to stockpile that. Outpost meds. Let me copy this shelf and paste it in Outpost meds, and then remove Glitter World from that designation. There we go. So we should keep meds here for better tend care. Bash, you don't have to butcher anymore. It's too bad that the Phoenix armor isn't count specific armor or oh, interesting. But it is armor for Storbeck the Knight. It is Knight specific armor. I didn't realize that. If we go to the Knight's requirements for apparel, I don't think it's supposed to be, because it's not Psycaster apparel and it's not prestige armor. But yet he doesn't have a want Knight specific apparel. That might even be a bug. Because this Phoenix armor is obviously not prestige. Prestige armors have that golden hue to them. So the Prestige Cataphract, Prestige Marine, Prestige, you know, it has to have the word Prestige in it. And of course, Phoenix armor is not a Prestige armor. So I'm really not sure why Storbeck is fine without his Prestige armor. But whatever, every mood boost I can take, I'll take. I do think, however, that is a bug. But it benefits me. So after having something like 6 Reaper Sapper raids in a row, the last group was a Prepare a While. Now, with that said, Prepare a While raids on average are larger than Sapper raids. If you weren't aware, depending on the attack type, it determines the size of the raid. So the largest raids tend to be the ones where they edge walk in and prepare a while, because and sort of the concept behind that is it gives you the most amount of time to prepare your defenses. So the raids tend to be the largest. So the walking in on the edge where they don't use pods and they prepare, on average, will be your largest raids. And then the targeted pod drop raids, the pod drop raids which land on your colonists and land on your trade beacon, tend to be the smallest because you have the least amount of setup time. So there are variables in there. I'm going to make up numbers because I don't have them memorized, but it's something like a edge walk-in prepare a while raid will be of times 1.2 strength, whereas a pod drop raid will be of like 0.6 strength. So like 60% what a normal raid would be, whereas edge walk-in would be 120% of what a normal raid would be. Which is why, even though these Reapers did a pod drop, their prepare a while offset that. So it was a lot of raiders. And had I not had all of these centipedes and pretty much the centipedes, because all the other mechs died, had I not had the centipedes able to help me against them, that would actually be a really tough Reaper raid to kill because a lot of them had shield belts and were really well geared. So off to our next event. Gonna set the animals up to priority hall. So I did have a YouTube comment. I totally forgot about this until just now. That was a suggestion that I would move the telescope into my storage area because back here is getting a lot of attackers. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to move this telescope right here where it can be protected a little bit better. I'll have Leth do that because Leth was standing there. All right, JD is working on making components and then eventually advanced components, trying to get our advanced component count up a bit. So let's go to 20. The ship that I'm eventually going to want to build to exfil or to leave this planet will need a whole lot of advanced components to build it. So stockpiling the advanced components now, pretty necessary. One of the other huge advantages here that probably a lot of you had realized, Raptor here, of course, has the Psychic Harmonizer, which means that his mood spreads sort of infectiously. And during Reactor raids, there is a lot of stuff to kill, and he's Bloodlust. So he's very, very happy when he sees things die or when he kills them himself, which means that I have designed a system where everybody's moods are artificially boosted during the Reactor raids because Raptor likes to see things dead, which honestly helps out a whole lot because this Psychic Harmony here is pushing everybody's mood up 15 points or so. It depends on proximity and sensitivity. Storbeck would if Storbeck was new Raptor, would get pushed up even higher because of his psychic sensitivity. So that's a huge benefit. Plus, Raptor's married happily and eating fine meals and all that jazz. So yeah, here we go. Psychic Harmony 29 because Storbeck's sensitivity is high. And then if anyone was in a particularly bad mood, I could slap an Eltec skull cap on them to increase their sensitivity dramatically and have them stand near Raptor. So if Raptor is like giving a throne speech and I wanted to improve someone's mood, I could equip them temporarily with like an Eltec staff and like a Eltec skull cap. And as they listen to the throne speech, their mood would be like plus 30, just standing around listening to Raptor. I don't think I am going to spend any time throne speeching during the Reactor raids though, because it takes hours and I don't have hours to dedicate to such a task. But I'm just giving you for instance, a method to which you might be able to min-max the psychic harmony. Because Raptor's obviously the happiest in this colony by a lot. He is thrilled. Totally max mood, 100%. Which is awesome. Totally awesome. Doing something weird. I'm just filling the interaction spots for that pin, so anyone using the pin will be right at the door. It's not necessary, I just wanted to do it. So we have plenty of potatoes with the one farm. And I'm sort of curious. I think I have to taunt Randy again to be like, oh, Randy's a pacifist, for him to send another massive raid my way. So Randy, you're a pacifist. You're a wuss. Your last 2 raids got squished. I didn't even get, well, I got stabbed once. I also need to remember that I have 6 Doomsday launchers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a triple launcher, as well as 2 Antigram warheads. I have tons of shells. I have been using the IEDs. Oh, you know what? I installed that in the wrong spot. And a Balka's trader flying overhead. Hey, that's cool. All right, this bulk goods trader has, I thought I gifted that tech print. I guess I didn't. I'll sell it. Oh, that's all the money they have. See if I can't buy something from them. I can buy gold. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the gold. I'm gonna buy a whole lot of, well, no, there's that gold asteroid that I have yet to fully mine out, so never mind, I take that back. There's my psychic foil. Do you have anything that I want to buy? I don't need your wood. Plasteel, I guess? It wouldn't hurt. I mean, I can mine that up, but it's convenient to buy it. So let's sell a few more dusters and parkas to cover the cost. 2 toques, and let's go 2 hats. And that's a whole lot of plasteel that I now don't need to mine up. And I still have 17 dusters. Oh, you know what? I have cloth dusters I have no need for. Let me sell them for some money. There. They only have worn leather, so that's not protective at all. Worn leather is sort of the lowest quality leather in Frost and Fire, mind you. I haven't spent a lot of time talking about the different materials, but worn leather is not great. Well, there's 400 more plasteel, which will help to replace any turrets that might get destroyed, stuff like that. I didn't think that this zone would need to be enlarged, but okay, we could do that. Let's take a quick heat check of the base. Freezers are frozen. Everything else is very temperate. That looks good. We are hauling in buckets of mechs and corpses of the Reapers that died. And that is all the time I have. So a little check here. We have the Reactor It has spun up for about 8 days, or 3 days and change, 4 days roughly. We are looking really good. We haven't been tested that harshly yet, and we have 11 days of reactor raids left to endure. If you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't tried Frost and Fire for yourself, I welcome you to do so. I might spend some time coming up trying to bring it up to 1.3 once 1.3 releases. I'll catch you all next episode. Farewell, everybody.